Hey guys, so in this one we're going to be doing Cisco router and switch initial configuration. The first task here is to configure router 1 with the hostname R1. We'll need to do the same for R2 and SW1. I have Cisco packet tracer loaded here. If we go into R1, we can see the hostname is actually router at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and change that to R1. First of all, we need to go into enable and then config T to go into global config. And we could do hostname R1. And as you can see, the name has changed to R1. We need to go ahead and do the same on R2 and SW1. So enable config T, hostname R2. And lastly, SW1. Okay, that's all done. So that is the first 3 tasks complete. The next task is to configure the IP address on R1 according to the lab topology diagram. We'll need to go ahead and do the same for R2 as well. So looking at the lab topology diagram here, we can see R1 on FastEthernet 0/0 has been set to 10.10.10.1 with a /24 subnet. So let's go ahead and configure that first. So if we open up R1, and what I'll do is I'll have the lab topology here. And we want to go on interface FastEthernet 0/0. Then we can do IP address 10.10.10.1 with a /24 subnet, so 255.255.255.0. And we can do a no shutdown. If we do a show IP interface brief, we can see that FastEthernet 0/0 has an IP address of 10.10.10.1, and the status is up and the same as the protocol. So we'll go ahead and do the same for R2 as well now. So on R2, I'll have the lab topology here again. And the same thing again. So we'll need to go on interface FastEthernet 0/0, which is on this interface here. And then we do IP address 10.10.10.2 with a /24 subnet. And we just do a no shutdown. And we do a show IP interface brief. We can see that FastEthernet 0/0 has been set to 10.10.10.2 and it's up. So that's the next, task 4 and 5 done. The next task is to give SW1 the management IP address of 10.10.10.10/24 subnet. So what I'm going to do is open up SW1. And what we have to do is, we'll go on interface VLAN1 and we can add the IP address here. So same thing again, IP address 10.10.10.10 with a /24 subnet. And that has been set. What I'm going to do is do a show IP interface brief. And we can see that VLAN1 has been set to 10.10.10.10. We just got to do a no shutdown to bring the interface up. And now if we were to type the same command, we can see that the status is up now. So the next task over here is the switch should have connectivity to other IP subnets via R2. So to do so, we'll need to set the default gateway on SW1. So what we can do is, it's going to come out of here, so we're in global config. And then we can do IP default gateway of 10.10.10.2. And now we need to verify the switch can ping its default gateway, and its default gateway is 10.10.10.2, which is R2. So let's go ahead and send a ping to R2. Okay, we can see we have connectivity, so that is all up and running. The next task is to enter suitable descriptions on the interfaces connecting the devices. So on SW1, what we want to do is go on interface fast Ethernet 0/1. So interface fast Ethernet 0/1. Then we can just write description, and we can say link to R1. Then we can go on interface fast Ethernet /2, and we can say description link to R2. And we'll do the same for R1 and R2 as well. So we'll need to go back to global config, interface fast Ethernet 0/0, which is this interface over here. Then we just write description, link to SW1. And lastly, what we're going to do is R2 as well. So we need to go back on the interface method. So interface fast Ethernet 0/0, description, link to SW1. And what we could do just to verify it, we'll just verify it on one router anyway. So we can do show interface fast Ethernet 0/0. And we can see here the description has been added, so it says link to SW1, which is correct. So going back to the set of tasks. So we've entered the suitable descriptions on the interfaces. The next task is on SW1, verify that speed and duplex are automatically negotiated to 100 and full duplex on the link to R1. So if I put that to the side, what I can do is go on SW1, and I want to verify what it is currently. So what we could do is show interface fast Ethernet 0/2, which is going towards R2. And we can see that it's in full duplex and the speed is 100. What I'm going to do is ensure that is all good. So interface fast Ethernet 0/2. And what we can do is speed 100 and duplex full. That's just to make sure that it has been set. Looks good, looks good. So now what I'm going to do is go on R2 and do the same thing. But this time we'll do it on fast Ethernet 0/0, since that's the link going towards SW1. As you can see, the connection has actually turned to red. That's because we have a mismatch. So once we set the speed and duplex on R2, it should come back up. So again, speed 100 and duplex full. As you can see, the link has actually changed to going back up now. So that is all good. What we could do also is just do a show interface fast Ethernet 0/0. And we can see that it's been set to full duplex at 100. The last task here now is what version of iOS is the switch running? With a simple command, we can just go on SW1. I'm just going to come out of here, so we can just write end, and we can just do a show version. Bear with me. We can see that the iOS version here is 12.2. So that's it for this one, and thanks for watching.